Hello everyone, this is War Doctor coming to you with Operation Falcon, turn 3.1 of my playthrough of Scenario 0. This is going to be a big turn one way or the other. I think either the Soviets are going to end it totally broken or have a fighting chance of winning again. Alright, so kicking it off with global operations. So the Soviets are going to attempt to place an insurgent in Bolivia. And they have their 3 dice, 2 purchased and 1 for their advisor. The Falcon unit after which this game is named. We're going to make this effort. All right, look at that. There's an 11 right there. Okay, so the U.S. will have an insurgency in Bolivia to contend with on their turn. They're also going to attempt diplomacy, that is the Soviets, in Chile for another 2 IPP. So let's see how that goes. If they win, they get to spend all 4 IPP that are spent there. We'll see how this goes. And I see 2 10s. Wow. Okay. So Soviets get to spend that 2 IPP, plus the 2 that was already there. And having reserved 2, they're going to convert that into a artillery, which will join those forces there. I'm having a brain issue. I just want to check one thing about whether this gets placed immediately and can be used immediately. So no, it's end of turn phase. So these will just join this, but we know this has to go in Chile. However, the Chileans will acquire a fancy new communist rondel, and they will switch to being Soviet units. Oh, whoops. It's a green one. All right, there. So the forces of communism are resurgent once more. All right, so the Soviets have 3 attacks this turn. They are going to fire a cruise missile, which can go 1, 2, 3 into Colombia, because it's a ground launch cruise missile, and the Soviets have long-range missiles. They are going to fire 2 ASMs, 1, 2, also because of the ground launch bonus, into there. But they're also bringing the fleet along and launching a full combat here, which ought to be interesting. Like I said, this is going to make or break their turn. They're also loading the Marine onto this guy, who is going to go 1, 2, and land there. The Airborne is going to go 1, 2, and land there. 1 mech and 1 MBT from that. From Buenos Aires will join, marching across there. So 1, 2. And then these 2, the fighter and the light infantry, will march on up into that combat. Oh, and this fighter is going to fly out of Buenos Aires to join, to do the air superiority role here. And that is that. All right, so I'm going to resolve the easy ones first and then move the fleet battle onto the battle board, because that's going to be pretty complicated. So there's no AAA unit here, so this is just a straight shot, 5 or less. And if he hits, the U.S. will just lose a light infantry hit. So take off a single light infantry here in Colombia. This one does not look promising for the U.S. player. So he is facing a fighter. All right, so fighter. That's a 10. So the MBT here attacks at 4. It's a fail. The mech is going to be boosted up to 4. It's a failure. The Marine is amphibious assault, but also boosted by air cav. Oh, it's not boosted. Sorry. Yeah, that was a failure. Okay. I thought I had an attack helicopter there, but I was looking at the green one. No. So he just attacks at a 3. The airborne attacks at a 3. And the light infantry. So failures all around. All right. The attack helicopter attacks back at a 4. Gets a hit. So the light infantry is going to die. You know what? No, I'm going to lose the airborne. They defend for crap. Oh, damn, I forgot this was mountains. It didn't matter because nothing hit anyway. But all right, so they're down 1. So attacking at 6, that's the hit they needed. So now the attack helicopter responds. He also hits again. So now we will lose the light infantry. So Peru goes commie again. And it's going to be held by these units. I'm going to bring this guy into port here. You know what? No, I'm going to leave him out here and have the fighter land on him. Okay, now for the more complicated thing. So let me pause it and bring it over to the battle board. All right, so I've got this set up over here. So we have 2 first strikes, 5s or less, and the frigates over here are going to be in missile defense trying to intercept them, so we'll roll that first. 4s and up. And one of the 2 missiles goes through. So let's see if we can get a hit there. We did. So that is 1 first strike hit. The U.S. is going to take it on the supercarrier. So that's 1 hit there. That guy's off the board. Fighters are going to go. The attacker, it's a 4. That is an air superiority hit. The U.S. is going to choose to take it on their fighter. Now let's go up the board. So the Soviets not in missile defense just get to fire twice with their frigates. So looking for 2s. Wow, that was almost 2 of them. So that's 1 general hit. We have a diesel electric sub up here. Also a general hit. 2 destroyers, which have sub-target select. It doesn't matter. 4s. 2 more hits. That's 4 hits. Nuke sub, surface target select. That's just a general hit. So we're up to 5 general hits. And then the cruiser hits at a 6. That one missed. That was a 7. All right. So for the U.S., the destroyers were already fired. The fighter is already dead. So let's start with its fighter, air superiority. So it's a green dice for the U.S. That's a miss. Frigates have already fired. Carrier gets 1 shot at 1. Miss. 2 U.S. destroyers, which have sub-target select, like I said. Both misses. Attack bomber. That's a miss at a 4. Cruiser. That is 1 general hit. Okay. So let's take the casualties. So the U.S. loses its fighter, which it already had. The fighter goes over here, but it has only 1 valid. I'll leave it in air superiority because he only has 1 valid target. And the Soviets will choose to take diesel electric sub. The U.S., oh boy. The U.S. will take a carrier. It is going to lose its 2 frigates, 3, and its 2 frigates, or its 2 destroyers. Okay, that's everything. All right, the Soviets are attacking again. So the fighter, 6, misses. 2 frigates at 2. That's 1 general hit. 2 destroyers. Miss, sub, miss, cruiser. Hit. So those are the 2 last hits. So the let's make the cruiser the green. The other's the red. So the cruiser does get a hit, and the Soviets will lose a frigate. And that is it. So I'm going to pause this and get this back over here. All right, so I moved everything back. Soviets are not out of the fight, it seems. All right, so non-combat movement. So aircraft carrier is going to move up. This guy is going to go back to land back home. And it looks to me as if there's not much else for the Soviet player to do this turn except brace for the counterattack. All right, so unit placement. So they deploy 1 artillery in Chile as part of their base deployment. They're going to add a next-gen MBT, a light infantry, and a SAM, or AAA unit, to the group in Buenos Aires. They will also produce their 2 anti-ship missiles and a cruise missile, which I need to put over here. So they still control the Falklands. And let's tally that up. So their base income is still 2, since Peru has no IPP and neither does Chile. So that's 12, 16 for the Falklands, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. So that's where they stand at the end of turn 3.1.